Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself upstairs on the show this evening is the one and only Albert, Poor Mucker, Big AK, and the legend that is the Bridge. Evening, gentlemen, and AK.
Good evening, Oxshire, Albert, the Bridge, man. They take your team and everybody that's listening. What a start.
cheap jab. Evening, Albert.
Evening, guys. How are you? Apart from I know how you are feeling. Your health okay? Everything else okay?
How's the Bridge?
Oh, good evening, Oxshire and Albert and AK, and of course the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, I'm very sad and I'm raging. Everybody, listen to this. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yeah. All right, well, look, we're going to have to talk about that. It's a big game, big disappointment. If I'm honest, I'll go to Albert first. I think the team was pretty much with the personnel, with the fitness and what we picked up. Mikey Moore, maybe no make 90 minutes. And obviously the two new signings for January, Albert never made it, and they were a big loss. So the manager picked the team close, or pretty much what everybody expected with the hands he's dealt. Would that be fair?
Oh, that's it, man. That's it. It's basically roughly the team we'd all picked, you know what I mean, with players available. And so I had no problem with the team.
Aye.
What I didn't like at the game, I don't know if anybody noticed at the game, some clown decided it's a good idea to read the subs out first and then the team after the subs. Some clown decided that on Saturday, and I'm going to myself, or Sunday, and I'm saying to myself, you're on a great run. Just keep things the same. Just do the same thing. No. All of a sudden, we decide we're going to change it. I'm saying to myself, oh, here we go. This omens are no good. I know it's pretty weak, but that's what I was thinking. I'm going, I don't like this. I just don't like this.
I suppose the good thing is that you can do the match day shows and you can change your underpants.
No, I'm not doing any match day shows.
What about underpants?
No, they're staying on, man.
Oh dear.
I've only got one pair.
That's true. We'll maybe get a Just Giving page. You want to start at 8K, we'll all make a donation. Yeah.
Aye.
Wise, was there any real shocks? Obviously disappointed the two boys never made it, yeah?
Aye, of course. But again, it was kind of expected with Nadiri and Romans. We're hoping that we get Romans back the sooner the better for me, because we've missed him big style. Nothing against young Magoma, but we certainly miss what Romans offers to the team. Nadiri, it's a bonus if we get him back at all. Going in first, reports of how bad his injury was. So I think that the team, a lot of people had asked for it basically, because apart from Sterling, that was the team that finished against Falkirk that blitzed them second half. So our manager showed faith in them, brought in Sterling and went with the same 10 out with that. And if it was good enough to blitz Falkirk, it should have been good enough to win that game yesterday. So didn't really have an issue. The only thing that I said on Friday's show is a wee bit concerned with starting the two strikers. I thought he might have still kept one on the bench just in case for impact and things like that, but he decided to go with the majority rule, and but it should have been good enough on paper to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Aye, as I said, Bridge, with what we've had and what we picked up with young Moore, that would maybe the only people would say, well, why was he not starting? I get that, I understand that. But if he's maybe been told he's not going to make, and he's had a knock, So you've got to deal with that card. I thought he looked sprightly when you come on. Apart for that, mate. Well, AK's point about the strikers, you would play a different system if you'd done that, and maybe in hindsight, maybe that could have been, but ultimately the team was pretty close to what most people would have picked. Would you agree?
To a certain extent, I would agree with you. Although when the last time I was on Thursday, I think it was, they were asking that type of thing, and I said, well, if we don't have Romans, then instead of playing Sterling at right back, I would play him at left back, because I don't think that Boeing Mangoma has got the stuff for the pressure. I just don't think so, and it proved it. The boy was totally lost at sea. And
it's funny, but Bridge, you know, I don't think it's a good game. In fact, I don't think Sterling had a good game either. But you know, the first goal down the right hand side, and the second goal played into the right hand. All right, it was down Magoma's side and then played into the right hand, the back post at our right back area. You know, so both goals came down were actually scored in the right back area, not the left back area. But I accept your point, mate. I'm not arguing with you.
No, I seriously believe that Ngoma was a ghost. He just it wasn't in the game at all, and I thought Sterling was trying to go forward as you know, like Tav does, you know, get himself up as far as possible, and he wasn't available when the pressure was on in his left back position. I thought he did a lot better in the second half when he was at left back, but that didn't give us any much improvement for Tav. But I still would have thought, based on what I see now, I thought what I was thinking on Thursday was right, that Tav should have been right back and what do you call him, Sterling and left back. And that might not have been the best balance, but based on what we saw in the second half, Sterling had quite a good game overall, but better in the second half. The
other thing about Sterling, mate, down, injured, off.
Oh, jeez.
All bare. It's just, yeah. How can he be fit when you go? When's he played? A month since he's played, maybe?
Mm-hmm. He's been off for weeks, mate. But,
it's
a tackle. It's a tackle he went into.
I know.
And he got injured. It's one of the ones. It's just, well, they took Montgomery out. It took three players and two positional changes basically to sort that problem. Had to bring Tavernier on, move Sterling to left back and take Montgomery off. So you're moving three players to correct one mistake. And what I was saying when I seen the lineup as well is they'll target Montgomery. We know it. Every team's doing it now. And he hurt me, the boy. He's too weak. He's too young, too inexperienced, and too weak. He's still a good player. I still like the boy, but he's 2 or 3 years away from being a decent player, a right good player, mate. So their very first ball up the park, where did they go? Left back position. And it was just carried on the rest of the day. The 2 goals came for the left back position. All right, Sterling was up the park and wasn't back, and it came across. But the cross should have been cut out. Shouldn't be allowed to put the ball across the net. But see if anybody was at the game, and if you wanted to know what they were going to do, you know what they were doing in their warm up? We're playing our usual daft game of football and what we do, just a lot of nonsense and daft shooting practice, which is not really shooting practice. But what they were doing, and anybody who was at the game will tell you exactly, they were showing you at the warm up what they were going to do. They were all lined up across the park, bombing down the park and banging boys across the goal and putting them in and shooting range and a sort of shooting practice for an angle. The boys coming at an angle and they're shooting. That's what they've done in their practice. I'm going like that, saying to the guy next to me, look at them. Says this is what they're going to do in the game. If anybody had any brains in that Rangers outfit, that Rangers setup, you should have looked at that and went, here, they're actually going to, they're showing you what they're going to do. And it's see what they've done in practice and what they were doing in the warm-up. They've done exactly that in the game. Exactly that in the game. I'm saying, how thick are we? They're actually showing you what they're going to do.
Practice how you play, mate. Practice how you play, yeah.
I've never seen it before in my life with any team. And I'm looking at us in the setup with us, and they've got their wee cones out and they're playing that stupid wee game they play, the wee passing game. They see me playing that wee passing game all in the day, great, and then they go into the park and they can't pass a ball 5 yards to each other. It's madness, mate. You look at it and you go, that was crazy. But as far as I'm concerned, the whole game was about attitude. We came out there.
We'll come to that, mate. We'll talk about we'll go through the setup, the team selection, and we'll get it again because it's going to be a long 2 hours. But so we're all pretty much, maybe a tweet, maybe I get the thing with the fullbacks, but pretty much maybe 90% of the selection we were happy with. The point I'm trying to make is the manager dealt with the cares he had. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yeah, you wouldn't have played McGowan in hindsight, but by the way, he wasn't alone in his performance yesterday. But in hindsight, maybe I get that. So we all happy, reasonably happy before the game started. Is that fair, AK?
Aye, on team selection, aye.
All right, right. And no, I'll let you come in, Albert, because I agree with you, mate. When I watched that first 20 minutes, we were all over the place. And to me, it looks as if we think we've just got to turn up. And I think it was about 15 minutes before Gasman was even involved in anything when the ball went down the left, yeah? And the shadows in my team, my shape was all over the place. And we'd enough warnings. We'd enough warnings. And we didn't heed them. We weren't creating a lot. And the 3 kicks for the edge of the box, well, if that's the best we can come up with, I don't think we should be going on our trips to Spain. Albert.
Right, the Spain one I'll get to. The Spain one is what it is. I don't think it's the trip to Spain, but every time, not just this time, every other time we've ever done this, we've always come back and never played well. It's happened time and time and time again. I don't know if it's a trip. I don't know what causes it, but it's a fact of life. The winter breaks. Come on, back after the winter breaks. Every time we get a break, any length, we never come back and play well. I don't know what that's about, but that's what happens. But that. Right for the word. As soon as I stepped in Ibrox, man, I seen it right for the step. I didn't feel the atmosphere was right, mate. It was great. The sing-song, it was great fun. But it felt like a party atmosphere, I'm saying. Wait a minute, we're celebrating something we've not done yet. I'm looking at them going, the flags were out, the retro strips were out, and I'm going, this is like an end of season game. This is like, the league's been won and we're having a party type atmosphere. I'm not getting anybody. That's just the way it felt to me. And I looked at the players. I'm watching that Motherwell team, as I said in the practice, and I'm going, they've got a purpose. They're really up for this. They're really, really up for this. And I looked at our players, they're wandering about, having a chat to each other. It's all just laid back. Then they come out and start the game. I watched them get into their positions. They were jogging, they were walking into their positions. There wasn't really any enthusiasm about it. The game starts, and as you pointed out there, the game starts. And Motherwell were right on their toes, right for the whistle, bang on their toes. Then we say, all right, here we go. We wandering about there, and it sort of tunes were rang, the reading subs out was rang. I'm going, what's happened today? What have we done here? We've done something complete. I don't know where it came from, but the whole thing was rang the whole day. And then Motherwell just started, as I said, on their toes and totally and utterly outplayed us, mate. Outran us, outfought us, outplayed us. No doubt about that, mate.
Yeah, I get it. Particularly the first half. The first half.
They did, mate. I mean, even in the second half, they were still the better team in the second half, but we come into it. We'll come into that. I know you like jumping ahead, but we'll come into that. But for the word go, we weren't at it. We just weren't at it, and I don't know why. But as I'm looking at my goal and I'm going, we all know they're going to. They've done it. They won each game the last time. They brought that guy going, and first thing in the hour, bang, he's on my goal, and they're firing the diagonal high balls out of that our left hand side, and the guys are running. And it happened again, mate. They were right on them right away. Now my question is, we know that's going to happen. Roll knows that's going to happen. Everybody knows it's going to happen. Why is Cornelius not playing over there? Why have we not putting Cornelius on at left back going, we know it's going to be high boys in there. We need somebody strong in there to defend this. Put him in. Any sign of him. Where is he? We're paying him a lot of money. Where is that clown? And I'm saying myself, I'm not getting it, McGowan.
I think that's been a fault. Aye, look, you mentioned that for a few months, but and I don't disagree with you, Albert, but and by the way, I think the boy is a football player. Where is a left back's up for debate. AK, 20 minutes, I'm thinking, we've no grasped this. Tukwani, Raskin, people falling all the time because they've not got the right studs on. Yeah. And if I'm honest, mate, the majority of them were wearing blue.
Of course. Albert's made a lot of valid points there, and I got that impression myself, Albert. I was there with my boy yesterday in the Coatland, and it was a kind of a strange atmosphere, a celebratory atmosphere, basically an end of the season atmosphere. I mean, even I didn't notice it in the lineup when they're coming out. Butland and a couple of the other players were actually carrying young kids as well. I don't know whether that was their own kids or whether it was just pre-organised or that, but even that, I just thought a wee bit strange when I seen it back. But no, it was Motherwell there with a purpose, because they're still playing for Europe. We had the purpose, the main purpose of winning the league, but they were lackadaisical, they're complacent, they looked as if they were wearing flip-flops. Well, Motherwell had the sleeves rolled up because they had the intent of coming away and upsetting the apple cart, upsetting the party. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, we are jogging about it, slow, lethargic passes between our defence, with no purpose, no intensity, no intent. It's Motherwell zipping it about, completely different attitude and application for what we expected. And I think Danny Rowe must have been shocked, because the team that he put out there is a team that blitzed Falkirk in that second half. And he expected probably the same, intent, the application, the attitude. It wasn't there, Ox. And I forget, criticism of Danny Rowe, he needs to recognise that earlier and make the changes accordingly. And that's my criticism of Danny Rowe. He's yet to do that, and yet to be ruthless enough to listen, this isn't working. You're not putting in the application. Hooked. Managers need to be ruthless to do that, to change the course of events. And he chose not to do that until half time, and Motherwell could have been out of sight at that time. Oxford were actually quite fortunate, it was only 2-0.
And saying that, mate, we had the opportunities to get goals through the whole game, mate. But our quality was poor. Bridgeman, we never started well. Our centre halves are so far apart at times. It's the system, mate. And there's flaws in every system, in football system. When teams play against you, you push your full-backs up. They've got a lot of ground to cover. One goes, the other one can't support because they're too far apart. The full-backs were getting caught too high at times. The midfield, Raskin at times is playing behind the two centre-halves. So we've nobody in midfield, we've no option. I thought he had a poor game yesterday, Nico, who we praised the week before. If you think, you've got to be honest in your assessment. I thought in the first half, the two guys that gave all the effort were the two strikers with very little service, but they put in a shift.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I thought they were excellent in the first half. What a difference between them and the midfield and subsequent back to the defence. I wouldn't blame the centre halves too much, but what I would do is what I've said all along. No, don't go past your halfway line. Don't go past that. You can't afford it, because in this modern day, these guys are flying machines you're playing against, and they'll zip up the park and you'll be stranded. And that's what it looked like a number of times. Maybe Motherwell weren't as lucky, or maybe the ball ran too quick out of play, or maybe we were lucky because they never got there and scored. But these teams that we're playing against, Motherwell had a fabulous game against us. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Their midfield were superb, and they were utilising the experience of their fullbacks and their defenders to gather the ball in and work it up the park. They're working it up the park, man for man. Up you go there, and then again that wee diamond, and away to go. And before you know it, they're halfway into our half. And the other boy said earlier today that every time they do it, the defence wide, big zip that ball wide, and I'm afraid our left back just wasn't at the game at all. I don't know what game he was at. He certainly wasn't at Ibrox.
Bridgeman, but as much as I thought he was poor, I've got to Albert, there was a lot of people poor as well, mate. I don't think our centre-halves were good in possession. I don't think they helped with the 2 goals. I thought Sterling had arguably one of his poorest games for us. And I'm a fan of Sterling. I thought Raskin was poor, Tikimani. I don't think he influenced the game one jot. And that's maybe, people will then say, well, was the shape rang Albert? Because then, you know how Motherwell played. We've had 2 weeks to work on it, and we basically gave away the midfield.
I mean, you can say it's shape, you can say it's this or that. The next thing, the bottom line to me is just the application, mate. It just wasn't there. It simply wasn't there, mate. Right for the whistle, it wasn't there.
Mhm.
And you looked at it and said, I mean, there's a lot of people had bad games. Nobody had a good game, put it that way. And you can't blame one player, but you can point out the faults of each individual player.
Aye.
But there wasn't. If we'd have won that game, you'd been hard pushed apart. You probably gave it to Germetti, the man of the match. They probably gave it to Germetti because of the goals. But apart from that, it was hard to pick anybody having a good game. It was poor, mate. Really poor. The midfield were shocking, just absolutely shocking. They didn't know what they were doing. No discipline in the midfield at all.
It got
Raskin
better-
just decided.
It got better in the second half, mate. Diamande influenced the game a bit, particularly in the first sort of 20, 25
He just started
minutes.
winning tackles, mate. He just started
Aye.
winning tackles. That's all it was.
He went in the
Eh.
face. But even then, Nico was playing behind him in a straight line, mate. So then, as the centre halves are playing where they're playing, mate, you've the midfield. There's nothing in front of it, like a V in front of it, mate. So when they play there and they've got numbers in there, because that's the way they play, AK, yeah, you'd have got a good view of that if you were high up in the court, wouldn't you? You would have seen it, and that's the way they play. And we were exposed because there's no personnel in there, and sometimes it was 3 against 1.
Aye, 3 against 1 or 4 against 2. I mean, you counteract it, right? See what Motherwell were doing. They were actually doing what Raskin was doing with their goalkeeper. So that gave them a spare man that they could put into the midfield. We were totally outnumbered in the midfield
We
all
were
the
having
time.
we were having a man less because we were doing
Exactly.
They're making-
Exactly.
making it 11
Aye.
against 10. We're
Yeah,
making
and basically Raskin dropping that deep was making it a back 5, and Chukwani was isolated in the midfield himself because with 4 up top, you had Asgard and Gassama and Chermiti and Miovski looking for the through ball. We were going long all the time, and it was dead easy to cut out. And then, of course, the transition moments, they just broke on us at will because our fullbacks were that high up the defence. Honestly, it was just a disaster tactically. But who do you blame there? All right, you blame Danny Rowe. That's the natural guy that you're going to point fingers at. But the attitude and the application of the players was totally different to
Well-
the way they finished the game against Falkirk.
I'm no blaming Danny Rowe, right? Because he's set a team out there and he's gave 2 guys a job to do. And I thought they were awful yesterday in their application. Go to Oldberlin Bridge. And that was particularly Asgard and Gassama. And we've witnessed the kind of performance with the boys had before. We've praised them with some of the things they've done. But you've got to critique what you saw, particularly. I'm going up to the first half here. We'll go through the goals after this. But they were sloppy in possession. The work rate was poor, and they didn't work hard enough off the ball. Albert.
Oh, 2 men down, and let's be honest about it.
Exactly, that's the point, mate.
You're looking at them. I guess man just wasn't in the game at all. But to be fair to the boy, they were getting him the ball, and there's 3 guys on him, and you're saying, well, how can there be 3 guys on you? And
Don't
then
game it.
the ball goes. But wait a minute, the ball goes up the park, and they've got all of our defenders. And you're going, well, how are these players getting from one place to another place? Oh, no, I mean, they looked about 15 men on the park at one time. You're going, how they look millions of these players? Where are they all? They're all just putting they're all putting the shifts in, mate. They're all getting the graft. They all know what they're doing. They know how to. Asgard, for example, he didn't got a clue. He didn't know where to twist a stick, mate, at one point. He doesn't know to go forward or go back, or I'm talking about out of possession. He just doesn't know where to be, mate. He's not got a clue how to play that position. He's a luxury player. Him, you get luxury players. Like Gasman's a wee bit of a luxury player, but you get luxury players. So and that's what Asgard is to me, mate. He's a nothing player. There's nothing you can particularly say he's really good at. There was one point later on in the game we'll talk about. He could have took the ball right through, but he didn't. He stops and then wants to turn himself into a midfield player. But you're right, they two. They just weren't existing. They're non-existent in the first half, just non-existent. So you've got Chukwani in there. Now, Chukwani got left himself. That's how he had a bad game. Because Raskin decides to be undisciplined and go way back, as you say, back to the centre halves, or start charging about, chasing the ball like a schoolboy. And you're saying, you need to show some discipline, son. That wee boy in that middle of that part, I don't know who it was. I think AKZ, it was what? He gave Raskin a football lesson, mate. No doubt about it. He gave him a football lesson. If Raskin wants to know how to play the midfield, just watch that boy play the midfield, because he gave him a football lesson, as did 2 or 3 other players as well. And you're saying you're just getting wrapped up in the game. You're an experienced Belgian international. You should be using your brains, a football brain here, saying, I know exactly what today here. You not a clue. You just get wrapped up in the game and started charging about like a maniac. And you're saying, this is not going to work. We're too clever for that. That manager has got them discipline. Too clever for us. But we just kept doing it, mate. And they always seem to have a spare guy, and their midfielders taking the ball in, no pressure on them. There's twice that wee boy put Raskin in his bum. Twice he done it, mate. And I'm saying, he's making you look like a complete fool. And he's still head down, charged about like a maniac. Asker's no in there. So Chutwani's in the middle. And he's trying to cover everybody. He's trying to cover all this ground. And there's no chance, mate. And I'm saying, you look, if you're doing nothing in there, you look a really bad player today. And the boy must have been sitting going, I can play midfield, but I can't play it myself. I've got to give a horn in here. So, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with what all Bear was saying there. I think we got a lesson. There's no doubt about it. Another lesson after Motherwell, which is just unacceptable in my opinion. But I don't know whether we'll ever have the players to the quality of Motherwell, the way they can play. We don't seem to have players that can play like that. I'm not saying we've got bad players. What I mean is, when it comes to it, we're playing against people who are full of 100% confidence and their belief in each other that they can do it, and they're getting up the pitch whenever they want to, at will, and causing mayhem in our midfield, who, as Albert said, weren't there. So I thought Ashgard was a horrible player for us. I thought it was terrible, but he just couldn't do nothing right. That's what I thought. And one of my favourites, Gasman, God Almighty, he let us down. And when he got the ball, he was trying to do things. Sometimes his first 3 moves were okay. But do you know what I noticed? I don't know whether anybody else noticed that. Maybe he's going to comment on it. We had a lot of players falling.
Yeah,
losing their feet,
I just mentioned.
That's another good point, by the way.
I mentioned that we were slipping and sliding, mate, but the majority of people who were doing it were in blue. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
It's incredible, isn't it?
Why is
it? Well, they obviously, some of them with the wrong footwear on. It was commented, obviously. It was commented, I believe, on the commentary, mate. Yeah.
Well, that's unprofessional, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest about it. That's completely unprofessional. What is going on? I mean, Roll needs to look at that and say, oh, this shouldn't be happening. And this is not the first game. This has been happening a lot with slipping and sliding and all other show. And you see the amount of water they put on that pitch. It's unbelievable, mate. The amount of water they put on that pitch before a game. And it's not working out for us, I'll tell you that. But it should be looked at. Everything should be looked at. Why the water on it? What was the studs you've got on? Totally, utterly unprofessional, mate.
Well, if you were a groundsman in a bowling club, mate, you would know about the green, the stint meter in it. Yeah. If you were the home groundsman, you'd be giving people a nod what they've got to wear in the state of the grass, wouldn't you?
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. I know it's small details, mate. Small details. Right, okay, so look, we huffed and puffed. We didn't start the game well, and then we should have had a wake-up call. Albert, I'll go to AK, sorry. They broke away on us. We were caught all over the place. I don't know where Stirling was. They come down the right-hand side. The boy went through. Decent shot, decent move from Motherwell. I think, personally, Jack Butland could have done slightly better, mate. And we're 1 down, and everybody's stunned. But in watching the game, you weren't stunned. If you'd have been a neutral to turn that on, you wouldn't have been stunned, would you?
Where I was, Ox, yesterday, I was pretty much at the corner, just where the Govan corner and Coatland front was. So that move basically happened right in front of me, and I couldn't believe that the space that the Motherwell guys were getting. A couple of wee quick 1-2s and they were in behind us, but the shot was straight at Butland. and it looked as if it went through him or underneath him. I'm like, wow, out of nothing. You're expecting your keeper to save that, even though the cut is open there. But nah, it was coming. They were probing. They were seeing what we were up to. But Motherwell just seemed that they were playing at a different pace. I mean, they were zipping it about. They were doing their quick 1-2s. They were moving it well, and they were cutting us through like butter. We were disorganised. We weren't helping out each other. If your right back's having a bit of bother, your left back's having a bit of bother, then that's where Asgard or Gassama should be working back. That's where your midfield should be holding tight and just make sure we're not getting nothing silly away early doors and killing the atmosphere, because the atmosphere at Ibrox yesterday was excellent. But it's as if our players froze and the Motherwell players went, I fancy this today. Because at Ibrox it was beautiful. The surface to play on, so rang boots obviously.
Blue sky, nice pitch, nice day, yeah. But
Yep.
if Magoma's not having a good game and nobody else is doing great in the back four plus the two midfielders and the two wide men are non-existent, mate, you're nearly playing with half a team missing, and it's difficult. Doesn't matter who you're playing, you can make them look like Real Madrid, Right, Bridge, we better get his phone lines open, yes?
Well, get him on, Paul. Get him on.
Yes. Let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, Albert, I don't know. You're taking it. So I know the move. I Butland should do better personally. I don't think it was a great effort. Yeah. If he slightly get his angles wrong, he's timing. That's his job to get that right and make sure. Yeah.
Is that the first goal we're talking about?
Aye, the first goal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that ball was right between his legs. Am I right?
It did. It went underneath him. He's no good. Sorry.
I thought the guy shot and that's when it went right between his legs. I'm saying.
Aye, wasn't he? He should do better, mate. He's got to do better, yeah.
Oh, come on, he's got to save that. Because the ball's right at him, man. Come on. He's got to save that. But they scored and deserved to score, mate. They deserve to be in the lead. They deserve to be in the league 2-0. I wouldn't say, so I heard some people say 3 or 4, but nah, I'm nowhere in that one. But they definitely deserve the 2-0 lead. There's no, 1-0, then we'll talk the second goal. But they were good for the lead, mate. Definitely. No doubt about that. They were the better team. We can say what we want about attitude and parks and studs and all what we want to say, but they were the better team. But by the way, let's no kid ourselves on. They've given football lessons to the so-called 3 teams that are going for this championship. They've given the 3 as football lessons. So they should be, in my opinion, whoever wins this league out the 3 teams that are going for it, mate, it's no deserved. None of the 3 of them deserve to win it. Motherwell deserve to go in the league champions just for the quality of football they've been playing all season. They really do, mate. They're a good team to watch. Very good.
And by the way, yesterday was our first victory in 5 games.
I know. It's strange, isn't it? It's strange when they can play like that.
So listen, obviously maybe some people out. The boy Slattery was suspended for cheating, and he was at some of that yesterday again. But anyway, so the second goal, we give the ball away cheap. We then spring us as they go down the left-hand side. They put a cross into the box. The boy comes in at the back post and finishes it. Good finish. Harder effort for Butland. Again, Bridgeman, he's not exactly twinkle toes getting across the goal, but I think he could have been helped out by the defence.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that. I think Butland had a really, shall I say, poor game insofar as defending the ball. And his distribution was minging as well at times. So I don't think he had his best game for Rangers yesterday. And I don't know why, but he's been not too bad for us. Pretty good saves. But I think both goals he should have got. I really believe that. When it was up to 2-0, I think 100% he should have got them. But I'm not going to take anything away from what you said there. He needed some help out. He should have got more help out from the defence, and the defence is just, I don't know what it is now. I think, I mean, 4 weeks ago I was really happy with the defence. I thought their performance against Falkirk, particularly in the second half, was just unbelievable. And they pushed everything. They pushed us and pushed us and pushed us all the way up, and we got a tremendous victory. And we should have got the same tremendous victory yesterday. And I mean that sincerely. I thought the second half we started to show that we can play football too, and put all sorts of pressure on them. But key to the game was we didn't put the ball in the net. Simple as that. But my goodness, when they came down against us, and I don't know, there was other times where they did make a couple of nice saves and stopped it. But we could have lost more goals yesterday than what we did, because
we did.
Defence.
We'll come in up, but
Yeah.
we lost the second one. And we huffed and puffed and made opportunities, and we should have done better. And we get free kicks, and I've not watched the game back, I'll be honest, because I was a bit scunnered. I think everybody will understand after the game was finished. I didn't want to look at it, but look, I'm not saying it was a penalty, but it was definitely a booking, the tackle on Gassama. So there's Mr. Clan influencing the game again. You know, I would like to see it back again and maybe see where it was. But by the way, we're set piece coaches. That's the best we can do. Okay, help me out, because the corners were poor. The free kicks were a joke yesterday. A joke. Yeah, and the positions we're getting in. Yeah.
I scared at fault for most of them. His delivery for that in front of the main stand was awful. Hardly beat a first man, I don't think. It was him that was basically on the free kicks for the edge of the area. Sometimes you're hoping that Tavernier's on the part to take one of them. But even in the training video, there was one, I think Chukwani, our very first one, as if it was set up for a left-footed player, and Asgard they put it out of the bar. But no, it was poor, and that's what we were clutching it in the first 45 minutes. I can't remember a save that the Murrow keeper made the first half, folks.
No, because we huffed and puffed. So we got 2-0 at half time. And let's be honest, Albert, we'll criticise. We started the second half okay, yeah. We started getting a foothold in the match, yeah. And we got a bit of luck. The boys slipped. Big Chamiti goes in, puts it in, and we're right back in the game.
Aye. The second half were good. We started to get in the game right enough. We started pushing them back, setting up a few chances. Big Chamiti scored that goal. Took it well as well. So you're saying, oh, we're up and running, and thank God for this. But again, you're getting teams 2-0, 2 goals there start, and you're saying it was always going to catch us, wasn't it? But you're right, mate. I thought we weren't dominating the game, but we're definitely in it. We're definitely a lot more dangerous, mate. And Diomande started to influence the middle of the park. So I thought, oh, here we go. Definitely, here we go. Mother was a wee bit shocked as well. We got them on their heels a wee bit as well.
So we're huffing and puffing everybody, the crowd's ways, but they want to roll up the park, Bridgeman. And lo and behold, we get a corner kick. Tav takes it, thinking, what's happening here when the ball's up in the air? We went it in the back post because we took the goal out, we put it back across, and then there's Big Chamiti to nod it in. They're saying it was a Nico Raskin goal. For me, it hits off a Raskin in the way in the net. I don't know what you think, but they've gave it to Raskin. Yeah, so Big Chamiti might not have got his hat trick, but 2 each, and you're thinking, Bridgeman, there's only one winner.
Aye, indeed, pal. And I thought that headed goal by Chamiti. I thought it was Chamiti's goal, so I'm quite happy. I'd be quite happy if Chamiti gets given it. But I thought he did well. He was right in the middle of it all. And by the way, that was some jump, a leap on there. My goodness, and got to the ball. Superb. That's what you're looking for. All these things that cause chaos, the high balls into the far post, all these things. You just spoke about it a few minutes ago there, how we're taking free kicks and we can't get past the first man, and corner kicks are doing absolutely nothing for us, and the same people that are taking them. And we just don't have anyone with the confidence to actually take a corner kick by the look of it. or maybe the ability. And it's the same with the free kick. I 100% agree with what everybody says. Absolutely shocking free kicks, shocking. And these two men standing at the ball, getting ready. Who's taking it? Who cares? Just take a fucking free kick and go on with it. And a shot at goal, please. Make the goalkeeper touch the ball, or hit the post. End it all. Sorry, I'm getting excited here.
Aye.
Can I talk about the free kicks and the corners?
Aye, you go, mate.
The free kicks for a start, Clancy at his games, by the way. I counted the steps, every one. He was a yard short with every single one of the walls setting up the wall. Every single one, without exception, mate. I'm saying to the wee guy Stevie next to me, and I'm saying, look at this, watch this, bang, bang. I'm saying everyone, that's everyone now. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, that guy is doing our set pieces. Both corners in our area and the opposition area. I'm not a clue what this guy's doing. Not a clue what he's trying to do. I can see some of his wee ideas when it's a free kick, when a wee fake free kick, and then the other guy hits. Okay, you can see what they're trying. But see this carry on with this. We'll get Fernandez, De Giga, Asgard, Biofsky. They're all 6 foot plus. Don't get near them. We're trying to hit Raskin with the ball all the time. Every corner kick, we're trying to hit Raskin with the ball. That's all Asgard tried to do. We Asgard, keep hitting Asgard. And I'm saying, what are we doing? Stavrier comes on. He's only, I think it's one corner kick. He's only one of the first corner kicks he hit. Straight to the back post. Fernandez, I think it's Fernandez goes up and gives it to Sharmiti. He puts it in the net. You're saying, what's this guy doing? What's this free kick expert doing? Hit it to the big guy. I mean, does he forget? He's trying to be that smart that he's missing the bleeding obvious. You're saying, cross the ball to the big guy. Why are you trying to hit the midget in the midget of the team?
It's called reinventing the wheel, Albert. It's called reinventing the wheel, yeah.
Exactly, mate. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And you're saying to yourself, this is nuts. But see the defending corner kicks. We've got every single player in the area, mate. Every single player we've got in the area. There is nobody up the park. There is nobody outside the area.
That Gasser, man, mate, you need to bring him back because he's so good in the area and so switched on defensively. Or would you leave him standing at halfway line, but he's got to worry a couple of their players.
Exactly, mate.
If you break quick.
But we're winning the ball, right? We're winning the ball. We're heading it out of our area to them. I'm sitting going like that. Oh, here we go. The ball's back in. We head it back out to them. They cross the ball back in again. We head it back out again to them. I'm sitting looking at that dugout going, what are you thinking about, your clown? What have you told these guys today? They've nowhere to clear the ball. You'd have to header the ball right up by the halfway line just to respite. It's nuts, mate. Watch the way we're doing it. It's stupid. And I'm saying, oh, here we, Christ's sake, what are we working on here?
By the way,
it makes no sense.
As much as we're slaughtered our own team and critiqued it, I've got to give some praise. AK.
Praise.
Right. I think the young boy came on the park yesterday and showed an attitude, skill, and dragged us back into the match and kept the pressure on and had them worried the whole game. Was young Mikey Moore.
Young
and
Mikey
if we'd have won that game yesterday, if we'd have got the third instead of them, mate, for me, he'd have been man of the match because he changed the whole game.
Absolutely. I'm saying that, I mean, the spaces that Motherwell had on the park, nobody was willing to carry the ball into those spaces. We Moore come on and carried the ball into the Motherwell, and that got us up the park. So 100% agree with your observation there, Ox. We don't have enough of them, but that's a sad indictment on us as a team if we're having to rely on Ashgard doesn't have it. Gassama for a winner, you know. But again, we allowed Motherwell to come back into it. But nah, young Mikey Moore was excellent. And by the way, there was a move in the second half where Mikey Moore actually rode a tackle. The guy tried to half him out, but he skipped the tackle. Clancy didn't even go back and book him. And the big guy that scored the goal, I think he got booked in the first half. Was it him that done Sterling in the second half? Again, no booking, should have been a red card. I'm not making excuses for their performance or that, but Kevin Clancy was giving us absolutely nothing yesterday again, but that's no surprise.
No, but listen, there was a big moment for me, and any use can throw in. See, when we've got it back to 2 each, and we break away, and Motherwell were, for that particular period, were at 6s and 7s. Because we looked, before they get a foothold back in the game, because we started getting the ball away. We broke away, I think we had them 4-on-2, maybe 4-on-3. Asgard's going down the middle, Tavernier's run him. He's passed it to him. It's got to be at least a yard in front of him for him to run on and put the ball in the net. Help me, Albert. Wasn't it a hard pass?
Oh, no, it's not a hard pass, mate. There's too much of that been happening all season, mate, with these certain players. It's simple passes they can't seem to. Yeah, they start in that circle and they pass the ball, and you're getting, all right, okay. I know that side going, you stole that again. Moore's got to score.
Aye. They were 3 gilt-edged chances. You know, you take it, you don't score every chance, but at least 2 of the 3 should have ended up the back of the net. And for me, that big moment with Tav, mate. You know, I don't know if you remember the incident bridge. It should have been rolled in and the ball should have nestled in the back of the net, yeah. AK.
It should have been. It should have been. Ox spoke about it. Big chances. Big chances change games. When you go, Bridge.
No, sorry, pal. I agree with you. No, let's carry on. You carry on, AK. I'll catch up with you next time.
No, anybody's. It's the goals change games, big chances. They were all there, Ox. Looking at the stats here, unbelievably, the XG, I know we're no keen on that, and I'm not that keen on myself. Motherwell were only 0.57. I don't know how they work that out.
They didn't have a lot of chances, mate.
Well,
They
aye.
scored with most of their efforts, mate. Whereas Albert pointed out, with numerous chances in numerous situations, but weren't they clinical enough, mate? Even though our defence was worse than our attack, yeah.
Aye, no, but I was just going to say that Motherwell were more clinical with the sparing opportunities that they had. I mean, they only had 3 shots on target in the first half and they scored 2 goals. They had 6 shots on target the entire game. They scored 3 goals. 5 shots on target, they scored 3. We had 6 and we scored 2. So Chermiti scored a double for me, although Raskin's got credit for that second one for whatever reason, but he should have scored 4. But there's other ones that could have took their chances as well, and that chance right to death, even though a draw wouldn't have been, what we were looking for, it would have kept us in the title hunt.
It would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
It would have helped.
Yep.
You know, so big moments, let down, attitude, players. You know, listen, I think Mikey Moore was the best player on the pitch yesterday. Picture Meaty's involved in a couple of goals, done some wonderful things, and then done some crazy things. Didn't look, I don't know, he seemed to lack fitness for the last half an hour, which is quite worrying. Yeah, quite worrying. Apart
He took
from
a
that,
kick, mate. It wasn't his fitness. He took a kick.
Aye.
He got fouled, and he was up. He was down. Again, Clancy doesn't stop the play. When he let him get treatment, when he got up, he was limping. He was limping heavily. And I'm saying, the big ones took us over in there. And he soldiered on for his long. He should have went off. And Ant-Man should have come on. No doubt about it.
And played Gasserman through the middle to try and just go with pace instead of height, yeah.
I'd have played Ant-Man. I took Chermiti off and put Ant-Man on for the last 15, 20 minutes, mate. That's what I would have done.
Pace, different, aye. Aye, but that's the lack of strikers on the bench, mate, and that was the point that AK made right at the start, if you're maybe critiquing it. But I think a lot of that's for hindsight, AK.
No, this is it. This is it. I mean, a lot of forums and podcasts and everything says, right, we've worked it out now. We've got to go with the two regardless. But Miovski coming on at half time, Falkirk, Mikey Moore got hooked at half time. You know, so that gave us the option there. He played in the two up front. But for me, as I say, I mentioned it on the Friday, I didn't think that Danny Rowe would start the two because I think that he needed that option. But this is what happens. Miovski just he tried, but he didn't get the service. So he gets hooked to try and change the course of the game, and that's where they'll lose the option of possibly bringing Chermiti off and still having your focal point in Miovski. Because I'm with you, Ox. I thought Chermiti was gassing. With about half an hour to go, there and then I know he was getting kicked in that Albert, but I thought he was gassing because he was the only one that was running about trying to press individually. You can't do that. Motherwell were just pressing round a bit, passing round a bit us.
I actually
Whereas
thought,
when
they two Miovski and Chermiti put a shift in the first half, mate. Yeah, no supporting, particularly with the two white players.
Well, there's a lot of dead running off the two of them because they weren't
Aye.
getting assisted by Asgard or Gassama to support them to shut them down because we were winning the ball in dangerous areas, but no did nothing with it.
I think the lesson we need to take from yesterday, apart from the ones we know, the obvious one, or the one it's not quite as obvious we need to take, but it's been there all season, is Miovski, Diomande and Gassman are impact players, man. We need to learn the lesson. Miovski shouldn't have played to the start. We used to have on later on. See, we got the couple of goals. You're looking for that third goal. That's when you bring him on. That's when he'll make the difference there because we're up the park. The ball's going into the area now, and that's where he does always good work in that area. So Miovski, Diomande, Gassman, impact players, mate. They're no starters, mate. They're just impact players. We need to realise this. So. Hindsight's a great thing, but you think we should be learning these lessons by now. You know what I mean? Whose strengths and weaknesses we can do. We seem to think these players that can't. We think and we want them to do certain things. They simply can't do it, mate. They're just not good enough to do it. And we've got to just open our eyes and realise it and just say, look, Butland, he can't pass the ball, mate, and he's hopeless in the ball at his feet, just hopeless. Let's no kid ourselves on. And he's all right about a shop stopping, but he's no. Take the captaincy off him. I know there's another one we need to talk about. I hate the goalkeeper as a captain. Just get your asking and stop mincing about and messing about. And just get your asking because he wants to be the captain. So give him it. And just say, right, it's your responsibility. I don't know if that would help his discipline or probably make him worse. But don't take it off of Butland. He's never a captain in his life. Never in a million years, mate. Captains, especially goalkeepers, they've got to show why.
I don't disagree with you, mate. I don't see how they can influence the game when it's 70 yards away from them, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. You're just giving them the armband for the armband's sake, you know. Anyway, he was there. Smurf was there, but he's gone. So hopefully he'll be back in a minute. Sorry for cutting across you.
Sorry, mate. I mean, no, I'm not a big.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Even Smurf. Oh, last call for Smurf.
On mute, Smurf. Come on.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, bro?
You all right, lads?
Aye. I managed to. I had a Jeff this biscuit there. I'm back on the solids.
Aye, well, I get what you're saying. Aye, I've been keeping my powder dry and whatever. And I think since I can't pronounce his name, that German boy went out injured. There's been
Narderi.
there's been what a change there's been in that Rangers team. I know he came in supposedly going to be as a goal scorer, but he's just worked his socks off in every game he played. And when you take him out, I mean, he's not been in that team. We've not been able to press teams the same. Out of possession, we've not been as effective. And aye, like you were saying, I was just listening earlier, there was no midfield. You could have mistaken, our midfield was that non-existent, you could have mistaken Motherwell for a long ball team. They were getting the ball from back to front and that quick, because there was no midfield to cut through, really. It was horrendous, and I think certainly in the first half, I would have to hold Danny Rowe responsible for that, for a small R, because he's only got the personnel at his disposal that he's got.
Was that shape or personnel?
I think a bit of both. I don't think the shape suited the personnel, and I don't think the personnel. The gas man's he's an impact guy. I know there was a clamour for Majowski to start the game after his sort of heroics against Falkirk, but again, I don't see him as a starter. And Asgard, honestly, just give the boy taxi fare, send him back down the road. Doesn't work hard enough. Will never work hard enough. It's no his game. He's miles off. He's got ability. There's better players than him have came to Ibrox that didn't work hard enough and failed at Rangers. So he's one for the off for the summer. He's going to be.
Good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Albert, you want to come in and reply just before we go to the tune, mate? I think you're making some of the same points at Smith, mate.
I definitely need the Majowski, Diamandi, and Gassman, as I said. They're impact players. They're no starters, and you can throw Asgard into that as well. I don't even think he's an impact player. I just don't think he's a player, mate. He doesn't do enough for me either. You look at him and you think there was a couple of actions in Sunday that he actually, the guy's at his back. He takes the ball in. He does his wee dummy. He's beat the guy with a dummy, but he then go to dummy and walk straight back into the guy. He's no sense of midfield, how to play a midfield now. You get that sixth sense running about you. You know exactly where the guy is, and if you do a move, you know you've beat him. He just doesn't know. He does it. You beat him. The guy's away. You're away for the guy. Not, and he turns back in again. You're going. You've not got a clue what you're doing, son. But it's when you're out of possession that I see the big failing in him. He's no got a clue where to be, mate. He doesn't know where to go forward, back, stay where he is. He doesn't know what to do. You can see him. He's looking about, and then when he tries the press, he's 25 yards away from the guy he's trying to press. And the guys are too good for that. The guy takes the ball and he's watching them coming and going, "Oh, you're this clown." He's going to carry on running out of position. He runs out and then he just pass it through him. No bother. Easy peasy. I'm saying you're like a schoolboy there. What are you doing? You're out of position. Don't make it worse by going to do the press that you're not going to get anywhere near. Just hold your position now. You've lost that battle, so don't make it worse. But yeah, no, I'll charge down. I'm supposed to charge down here. No, you're not supposed to be 25 yards away from the guy before you charge down there. It's crazy, mate. Raskin does it as well. It's schoolboy football. Silly stuff. Big Desser's done it when he was here as well. You're just running the boot for the sake of running the boot. You're not pressing anybody. You're never going to get to the guy. They too, Raskin and Asgard are guilty as well. Magoma was guilty as well. He's miles away from his guy. This guy's done way wide out left, out in the right hand side, and doing it the halfway line, and he's 25 yards away from him, and his own half. And I'm going, you need to be closer to this guy. But again, the time the ball goes out to the guy, Magoma runs down and leaves all the space in behind him. You're saying, this is crazy. This is stupid stuff to watch. You either do the press all together or you don't press at all. Day one player can do a press. You've all got to do it together. You've all got to work on it. You all need to know what you're doing and where you have to be. Or all you don't do it, you just abandon it.
All right, mate. I know you like a clock, so it's time for a tune. Get yourself on mute, gentlemen. It's time for a tune.
Took a trip to Ibrox, my favorite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldier's song, and the people sang Dolly Gray. Now half-time it came and went, and the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Tully was drowning everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to Walker, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through to Willie Woodbarn. Then on through to Ian McCall. McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and in goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardie Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson, and then goes number 3. While it's 3-1 for the Rangers, that was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Albert, carry on, mate. Floor's yours, then we'll go back to Smurf.
No, this is Smurf was saying about Asgard. It's I don't like Smurf's doing it. I don't like I'm doing it. I'm not picking in one player. It was just a whole poor team performance and Saturday. For the goalkeeper right out, it was bad, mate. And we should have still won the game. I still say with more chances, mate, and more clear-cut chances. And we're missing sitters, mate. Absolute sitters. The worst we should have got is a draw, mate. No doubt about that. That's the worst we should have got. And that's me praising Motherwell, saying they were the better team, better football team. And I think if they'd have played like that in more games and get better results, they should have won the league, mate. They really should have, because that's the best Motherwell team I've seen. I think I've seen in my lifetime. Honest football team anyway. I've seen in my lifetime. Maybe the Motherwell fans will tell me different.
But listen, we've no talked about the third goal. But Smurf, you come back in, mate. Yeah.
I was just going to say that for a long time, I mean, really since that break up of that midfield, maybe, Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, and Glenn Kamara, it's just never been replaced. It's never been right, and we've been screaming out for physicality. We've got physicality and strength and power and all that all through the team now. And you've got that Motherwell team. There's no giants in that team. You know, you look at that boy Just and stuff like that. They're all wee waifs, and they're just passing the ball, throwing about. I mean, it was, you know, fantastic. You know, as you say, for a Motherwell team. I've never seen a Motherwell team like that before, and I just think that it's no surprise. We've played them 3 other times this season, and it was the same diet they were serving up. So I think Danny Rowe's got to carry the can for some of this. Name midfield. Yeah, you needed to have legs and endeavour and power and pace and ability in that midfield. That midfield was non-existent, and it should have been flooded with Rangers players.
Yeah, AK, maybe the shape, mate, because of the way we play and when Raskin goes back, mate, you've actually not got a midfield at times.
No, that is, but listen, Smurf, I know what you're saying, but the only thing that I would counteract that is how can you blame your manager for a lack of work rate in your team? And that's basically what we come down to. Motherwell worked like hell. They ran more, they shut down more, they looked for the ball more, and you know that's just what it looked to me. They were quicker to the ball. They were zipping it about with pace. Ours just looked lethargic. We still looked as if we had the flip-flops on for our trip to Spain. And you can't start a game like that with attitude and application in Scotland. Even the level that we berate our own teams in Scotland, you know yourself, you don't get away with that. You need to win individual battles before you start to be comfortable in the game. Well, we started it all on it earlier. You know, we were just complacent for the first whistle.
But surely you've got to set up your team to win individual battles. There was no individual battles in the midfield because there was no midfield. He set the team up. He picked the team. He trains the team. He coaches the team. He took them away in a camp to do all that for that one game. And look what was served up. The team the shape was all wrong, the personnel were wrong, and that sits with the manager. It's got to sit with the manager. It's not the players' fault that there was no midfield. He set the team up like that.
I think some of the players have got to take responsibility, Smith. If you look at the 2 wide men that are meant to help put, mate, they were non-existent. What would your team been yesterday then, Smith? What would your 11 be to start? Then AK can come back in.
I started with the keeper and the same back 4. Midfielder, I went with Raskin, Wani, and I would have brought in Diamonde. Up front, if Mikey Moore's on the bench, he should be on the pitch. That's what I would say with that. And I'd probably went with legs. If I'd have liked to have seen Ant-Man on instead of Asgard.
Based on what are you starting Ant-Man?
Based on the fact that we've got to press, we need legs, we need endeavour. I don't see these two pedestrians. No, I know, I get what you're going to say, but
have you watched that man closing anybody doing all season?
I think he's mobile. He's mobile. He's mobile.
He's basing Ant-Man. He's basing Ant-Man on the fact that he's seen Asgard.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. The guy.
That ain't a compliment, old bear.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. You cannot put Asgard in that team. I don't want to see him for the rest of the season. I don't want to see him again in my life.
AK. So I mean, the team's pretty similar. Mikey Moore, we know he's been carrying an injury. I'm assuming that's the reason he's not started. AK.
I think we've all got to assume that. I think Danny Rowe has actually admitted that he's no trained a hell of a lot or done light training. I mean, he warmed up in front of me yesterday and he didn't look as if he was unfit or that, to be honest with you, Smith. He was pinging 40-yard passes, 40-yard volleys, no ball right on the toe of the player he was passing to. But listen, I just think that the whole Falkirk thing was basically the team that finished at Falkirk, apart from Sterling, that was the team that started yesterday, and we blitzed Falkirk, and we expected the same intensity, the same application, endeavour, everything that you're talking about there, and they didn't. So how can we blame a manager when players decide when they're going to show up and when they aren't? I think it's 100% on the players, and we've seen it too many times, but we keep pointing a finger at a manager.
Well, we weren't playing Falkirk yesterday. We were playing Motherwell. We were a far better team.
Falkirk beat Motherwell 3-2.
I know you're going to get these one-offs, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're a far superior team. If you don't set up right, and I think that if you don't set up right, they'll carry you home, and they've done that. They've done that the whole game, and they were well worthy of their win. I mean, don't get me wrong, we could have been out of sight, but if you've named in the partner can finish, what are you going to do? I mean, Chermiti's a big game player, and in the big games he'll score big goals, and he got 2 yesterday. He's not a prolific scorer.
Since the new year, his stats are pretty good, if you're honest.
Aye. It's 13 goals he's got in it.
Aye.
Like,
you know, and look, it doesn't look natural, but I mean, his first goal was all right, and I'm with you, mate. I think he got a double. I think it's Raskin in the way in the goal. So, but they've gave it to Raskin. That second goal for me, it was a Chermiti goal. But Albert, he could have had 3 or 4, you know. But listen, most strikers miss them, but it's how you bounce back. And he had his chance to be a hero at times. He could have had his out of sight, you know. I like the other players came on, like, well, praise Mikey Moore, and I thought Mikey Moore was excellent in the second half. He should have scored. I knew it. It was written all over his face, mate. And Asgard, well, it's just, I don't know if it's his setup. He thinks there's something lacking. Albert.
Asgard's no bottle, mate. That's why it's all too big for him. That's what I can see, mate. He's just too nervous. No bottle.
You're quite quiet, mate. You're quite quiet.
Wait a minute. Hey, you hear me now?
Yes, carry on.
Chermiti's part of his goal scoring. I know he's scoring goals now, but he's not scoring enough, and he's not scoring a lot of the ones he should be scoring. But he has took us up a level, mate. If you watch the guy, he's a different calibre of player to what we've had. He's took us up that level he's running about, his movement, his strength is upper level, mate. It's definitely upper level. But again, you can't just put it all down to him. He needs to score all it. He should be scoring 8 goals, don't get me wrong. He should at least a hat-trick yesterday. Asgard should have scored as well. But as I said, you can't miss these chances and then expect to win games. You give teams two a start, miss chances and expect to win games. If we'd have won the game, it would have probably stole the game. In football terms, it would have stole the game. But we definitely should have won the game. There's no doubt about it yesterday. For all the good football that Motherwell played, we had the better chances. There's no doubt about that, mate. And you're walking at Ibrox and you're saying, look, and then we lost that third goal, which was criminal, just criminal. And it was poor play, lack of quality with Barron, just a lack of quality, lack of understanding the situation. And I understand we're going to try and win the game. I'm not ever going to criticise them for trying to win a game of football. I'm never going to criticise them for that. The execution of some of the moves and the Barnes cross, for example, he ends up setting them up. They gave him the chance to break on us and they broke up the park, scored the goal. So this is one of the games. As I said, it happens, mate. It happens. But it was a kick in the plums. It wasn't. There's no doubt about that. It was a severe kick in the plums.
Oh dear. We heard that for a while. Aye, look. We all expected a difficult game. I don't think anybody was thinking it was going to be a walkover. Listen, I fancied it strongly to win the game. I wasn't saying it was going to be 3 or 4-0, Bridgeman, but I fancied this to win the game. But we just never started right, and we paid a heavy price for it again, mate. Again.
Yes, I think our manager hasn't actually learned from some of his mistakes in the past. I think he likes the play. It seems to like the players to come out in the second half and win the game in the second half. But I'm afraid they just don't have enough skills or quality to do that. But that's true. I mean, against Falkirk, he played to me, it was a weak team to start the game. And it's the same yesterday, a weak team. And they actually showed they were weak. Absolutely dreadful. I think some of the comments the guys have made tonight, like, you know, in the olden days, used to say, like, towing a caravan. That's what some of your players were like. And, you know, this nonsense of slipping. I mean, they've been out there testing the pitch, and they somehow or other they start to slip. No, it's not right. Wrong boots. And nobody to blame but yourself, you know. But the manager's got to do better than, or should say, he's going to try to do better than has been happening. I'm not blaming the manager in any way, shape or form. I'm not blaming him other than the fact he's a manager. So he's got to see that, and we've got to do better and agree with all the guys. I've said it myself. We were terrible in front of goal. We were, you know, the chances that we had, other than the fact that we scored 2 goals, the chances that we had, we could have won 4 games with it, you know. It's just not right. We're just, somehow or other, it's just not right for us. And that team played on us, didn't they? They played on us. They tore us apart and broke us. They actually broke us. We were doing quite well. Probably 15 minutes to go. We're 2 each. And why? What happened? Why did we stop pressing? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. What are we doing? You bring in Connor Barn with 5 minutes to go, but obviously plus the injury time, he got about 12 or 15 minutes. But the truth is, what's the plan? Bringing Connor Barn on at the 5 minutes to go. What is that plan? I can't get it. I can't get it. I'm not saying anything about Connor Barn, but I can't get it. I can't understand what it is we're trying to do. We're getting beat at that time, and that's it. What is this all we've got? Connor Barn, the last.
It was 2 each when he came on, and
2 each. Sorry.
Well,
that makes it worse for him.
They brought him on, mate, and they pushed. It looks as if they were trying to get Raskin men involved. I don't know if you've picked up the same, AK Albert. Yeah, pushing Raskin slightly more forward. Yeah, that was the way I seen it. Yeah, because he disappeared, that guy, didn't he? He disappeared.
I wish he'd disappeared.
But you've got a point. Albert and AK.
Aye, they did push Raskin up. I don't understand. You've got forwards in the bench. I don't understand that. It really didn't make any sense to be bringing Barron on. And I'm looking at it and saying, right, if you're going to shut the game down, that's fine. But even then, you're bringing a midget on. Their forwards are bigger than him. So all they're going to do is pump high boys. Same as they done with McGowan, just pump high boys at your weak players. That's all they do. So it didn't make any sense. You're going, so you try to win the game or we try to close it down. We'll try to do both, but we've done nothing. We end up getting beat. So it's this indecision nonsense. You know what I mean? Ant-Man should have wanted to get brought on, in my opinion. We might have still get beat, but at least you're trying to just say, right, we've made a decision, we're going for the win. Right, fair enough. And if that's the case, well, good. We tried to win the game. We've done everything we did. Could bring the right subs on to try and win the game. But bringing Barron on, I didn't see any sense in that at all.
There's been one name no mentioned all night. And it's strange, yeah. It shows you how quickly your stock can fall, AK, yeah. Nobody was looking for Scott Olsen to come on,
I was just thinking that. You had him kicking his heels on the bench as well, and don't get me wrong, guys, when you're taking off Asgard, I'm expecting a kind of positive impact player to come on there as well. So Ant-Man or Scott Olsen, you're looking to come on, but the only way I could see it is we were still loose in the midfield because Tavernier had just decided he was just going to play up front. So we had a back three, a middle kind of four, still with gaping holes, and just there was about 5 or 6 up front, you know. But you need to feed the bottom. We just looked disorganised. We looked like panicky, just to try and get a winner. But in reflection, that point, you know, would have kept you in the title hunt. You know, it'd probably put you to the top of the table because at that point in Edinburgh, Hearts were getting beat. You know, so if you're not winning the game, don't lose it. You know, and we get suckered. But even said that, Jermitty missed an absolute sitter to make it 3 each in the injury time.
He should have scored. He should have scored. Smurf.
I mean, I'm just, when you think about the game, how we set up, sort of Murrow looked like they were sort of matching our system, and then they changed, and then we changed again, and then they changed again, and I felt the Motherwell manager, when he's sort of head to head with our manager, outfoxed them really. But in saying that, to be fair, you can't legislate for people missing sitters. So it would be a very different conversation if Asgard put the ball in the net when he should have, and Chermiti maybe snatching a draw to death or whatever. But in truth, in the second half, it was sinful the chances we missed. We
I'm trying to remember.
should have won the game.
It was 2 each when Asgard missed that chance, if I think back correctly. Yeah.
It was aye. It was aye.
2 each. Aye. So look, that takes maybe energy out of them. They're 2-0 up.
And is it a penalty?
Don't know. I don't know. Albert.
I don't know, mate. I never seen it. I've not seen it on telly, and I couldn't see it right at the game. So I've heard that people. Roll was saying it was a stone goal penalty, but I've not seen it back, mate. So did they do a VAR check on it?
They done the
No.
The VAR check in the second half was the one on Tavernier. AK.
I did. I think the challenge we're talking about, Kasama, was the first half in the edge of the box. Is that right?
That's right. Aye.
No, they didn't do a VAR check, and that's what Danny Rowe was saying. And I don't know, it was too far away for me to see, but I've seen a still of the picture, and it looked as if
that's what happens when you've got your goalkeeper as your captain. If Raskin's your captain, Raskin's up to that Clancy shouting for the VAR check, like any other captain in any other team. But we've got our goalkeeper as a captain. Another stupid amateur move. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff, mate. Crazy stuff.
So what we've got is so far, I'm just getting a list here. Albert, maybe you should think about lists. I've wrote match day announcer, studs, groundsman, and now we've got captaincy. Yeah.
It's all amateur stuff.
Small things, mate. Small things.
And for me, Raskin's not a number 6. He's a number 8. He should be further up the pitch. He's no influence in the game the way he could be if he was further up the pitch.
I agree with that.
Well, I'll put it this way, you're not going to influence the game if you're playing behind the centre half sometimes, mate. Yeah, because then there's no midfield. But listen, my initial thoughts were with the one with Gassama, mate. If it was going to be a penalty, he would never been caught on the line. I mean, you never get a good view of it to see if it was a penalty kick. But I'll tell you what it was, AK. Bridgeman came in. It was a booking.
We should definitely been booked. 100% should have been booked. I was screaming for a penalty, but in the replays, it's
initially.
But I thought it'd been booked. I thought it'd been a booking. Absolutely. Not a penalty, but I don't think it was in the box, really, to be honest. Right. However, stranger thing. Well, I'll tell you right now, that referee probably did a lot to, shall we say, cost us that game, because we get nothing out of that referee. Absolutely nothing. And I was shocked when Albert was telling us he was only counting 9 paces or something like that, and not the full 10. But would it really surprise us that the referees would do that to us? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just shocking.
I believe his stride is 1 foot 2 inches, Albert.
Aye, he's doing wee baby steps, I know. Wait a minute here.
Sorry, 1 yard 2 inches. Sorry.
I go to stage Asgard was complaining he could smell their aftershave. They were that close.
By the way, the second one of the free kicks was just, Look, there's a difference between training and on match days, aka.
Aye, there sure is, and you've got to take your chances when they happen. Believe I've been joining me, Ox, Bob, there, Ox.
Yep. Evening, Bob, J.
How you doing, lads? How you doing? Need to ask. I'm very despondent. I was very, very disgusted at that yesterday. And those and such as those round about me that I went to see last night are exactly the same. I don't know where to begin. I don't know what happened. Complacency? I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. So, but the one option we'll go is that we're not out of this yet. We're not, a lot of people have counted us out yet. We're not out of it yet. No way a long shot. Just put that behind us, roll the sleeves up and get on with the next game. That's all we can do. We've been to that place. We'll go there next Monday. And we've been to that place so many times and won, and we can do it again because they're no great shakes. So that's about my take on it for the moment, Ox.
Yeah, I get it, Bob, and I don't think nobody disagrees with what you've said.
No, I'm not alone.
Yeah, what I will say is we started bad. We can blame personnel, we can blame shapes, we can talk about that and debate on that, but if you don't do your job and you don't do the hard yards, you don't pass the ball correctly, you don't cross the ball correctly, you don't get yourself back in position, and you're a goalkeeper and you don't keep out the goal. When you do all these things wrongly, collectively, it's not a good sign, mate. Yeah, there was one team in the park, particularly for the first 35 minutes, and it wasn't us, mate.
That's true. I mean, you can go through a game. I mean, we've all played the game, watched the game, studied the game. You can go through a game with a couple of guys under par, maybe even 3 under par, but you can't go through a game with a whole team under par. That's what happened to Rangers yesterday. Every fault you could pick happened to them. Slow, sluggish, passing off, crossing wasn't right, nothing would go right. It's just sheer pure effort we got into the game in the second half. And lo and behold, we could have won it, but whatever. The third goal, I don't know why their midfield player was allowed to run that length of the park without a challenge. Okay, well, maybe caught forward a bit, but somebody should have challenged. Somebody should have engaged long before the ball got where it was.
That midfield player was Steve O'Donnell, mate.
Aye. Aye, O'Donnell, yeah.
Aye, Stephen O'Donnell, yeah. And I don't know what Jadiga done. They ended up just going back and back and back, yeah. You know, sometimes you've got to commit, take one for the team. Yeah, think of the time, everything, yeah. You know,
that's what I said at the time, take the care for the team. How about I took the draw yesterday, Ox?
Well, when you're 2-0 down, mate, and we hadn't been great, mate. When you get to 70 minutes, I've got to be honest, I don't know if Malone and Albert can come in, then AK. I thought there was only one winner when we get the equaliser. I really did. I thought, well, we can go in and win this. But never. Albert?
I mean, as I say, I think we were going for the winner. But brains need to come into it as well, mate. So, sorry, hindsight and all that, and saying we should have went for the draw and all that. It's great. Probably should have, but you still think you could win it. And we're only ascendancy as well. It's a quality of ball into the box at Cottage, mate. Connor Barnes' pathetic cross into their box was that caused all the trouble, mate. As for winning the league, I mean, it's still in it. They're still there to be played for. But I'll tell you right now, if we play like that first half, and the first half against Falkirk, and the whole game against Hibs away the last, if we play like that, we're not winning any league playing like that, mate. We're no. We need to decide right now and say, are you either going to go for it, and as we'll try to point out after the game, we're not a 90-minute team. That's what he basically says. We're not a 90-minute team. We can't keep the second half performance yesterday and the second half performance of Falkirk over 90 minutes. We can't do it, mate. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but we can't put the performances. You're not winning any league putting the performances in like that first half. We need to own up to that. If we do the second half for longer periods, or we start after the first half like the second half, get the goals in and shut up shop. And we might have to be doing that for now, and I don't know, mate. But we need to change something because you ain't winning the league playing like that. That's not going to happen. Because that Hearts team are coming out next week and they are going to go for it, mate. Now remember, they're 4 points ahead of us now, so they don't have to win this game next week. So they might even shut up shop for us or just say, we'll go for them. You're better going for them because they're weak. But one way or another, they've got all the aces, mate. They've got all the hand. They've got everything in their favour. Home advantage, 4 points ahead. They've got everything in their favour. The way I'd be going with them, I'd be saying to your players, you've got nothing to lose here. Go out there and enjoy yourself. We got absolutely nothing to lose here. Go out there and enjoy yourself and win this game. We need to win the game anyway. We always had to win that game. There's no a great difference, mate, of getting beat. Apart from them, Hearts winning yesterday, which was lucky to say the least. So if they don't win, if they draw or get beat, we still need to win the 4 games. Even getting beat ourselves, we still need to win the 4 games. The fact that they won now just means that we still have to win the 4 games. It's just that we need to wait. We need to wait and see if they drop points in other games. That's all it's changed, mate. But nothing else. We always had to win this game next week.
Aye, that was always a pivotal one. But you thought you were going in for it. And by the way, if we would have won, if we're winning 2-0 at half time and they're kicking off at their game, or the feedback is we're winning 2-0, then they're under more pressure. It's a different game. But obviously, somebody getting sent off after 14 minutes, and I believe it was a red card, so we're not debating that. But it looked likely there was only going to be one winner, even though there were one doing at that stage. But it's all up to us, and you're right. But AK?
Well, it's the stage of the season now, Ox, where you're responsible for your own results, and you can affect other people's results. Celtic did their job on the Saturday, and we've got a chance to exert some pressure on the Hearts, and we fluffed our lines again. You know, so it's self-reflection. We can look within, we can point fingers at this and that, but it comes down to it again, and we've seen this movie too many times over the years. So it's not an unusual thing for us, but I think there's a lot of stuff that's went on this week that probably hasn't helped us mentally wise for the players getting into that game yesterday. Talking about the Tavernier announcement, I don't think that helped us one bit.
I don't think it's made a jot of difference, mate. If Asgard goes on the park and Tavernier's announced he's leaving the club, affected his performance, well, that's beyond me, mate. If Gassama goes on the park and he's non-existent because Tavernier said that he's made an announcement he's going to move or retire, that's beyond me. If Big Chermiti misses a couple of chances, even though he had a good game, because Tavernier says he's leaving the club, that's beyond me. If Butland can't keep the ball at the first goal because Tavernier's leaving, that's beyond me. I don't get it, mate. I really don't. You've got to, you're professional, you're paid, highly paid professionals, mate. You've got to do your job. Ridgeman?
Yeah, absolutely right. There's no excuses. We've seen our team doing the same thing in various ways, if you could say that. But we've thrown games away, and many games as well in the past, and it's really disappointed us. And whatever the manager is going to do, the manager's got to get it right now. If we're going to still hold any hope of winning this league, we've got to get everything right on the pitch. And if we don't, then we're not going to get anywhere. We're going to be lucky if we make European football. If we don't start winning games and getting some steam up, that's the truth. I'm just telling you the truth, guys. You're not going to make any European competitions at all. So no European.
I think the arithmetic tells you different, Bridge.
Well, look, we're playing crap. It's as simple as that. We're in danger of losing every game at the end of the season by playing this way. The team we played yesterday isn't the biggest danger to us, but it could be. But you know what I mean? The other two teams, this is our bread and butter now. If they two teams beat us and we continue to lose games, I know we've only got 4 games left or something like that, but my goodness gracious, it's dreadful, just dreadful. We can't afford to do that, and it's all our own fault. We were high as a kite after the Falkirk result. We're going to win this league.
It doesn't matter where we finish, Bridge. We're 18 points clear of losing European football, Bridge.
Okay, we're always going to have European football this season then.
Aye.
Right, okay.
It's very important whenever we get in, where we'll get a chance earning the big bucks. AK, by the way, I'm not saying I think it was a smart thing that Tav done. Yeah, there was a bit of me in that, but I don't think it should influence individuals, mate. They're highly paid professionals, and the fact that some
Yeah,
of them,
but wait a minute. You can't say it didn't. You don't know that. You can't
No,
say it shouldn't. It shouldn't. But you can't. You know this mob. You don't know if it did. I think AK's
we're
got
buying
a
them under,
point because
we're buying them under false pretences then for doing their job.
of course, that's still. I think we're still. I think it's not point to do it. I think we're playing Asgard under false pretences. No, I mean let's be honest about it. You know what I mean? His hair's no right, no quite right. He doesn't want to play. You know what I mean? But the end of the day, all these things that have been happening. I mean, every trick in the book's been pulled this week. The Rangers fans don't get into the pedo dome or this nonsense. Every argument after the part that you can think up to have, they're going to have. That Cloud Tavernier comes out and says he's leaving. He could have left at the end of the season. He could have left the announcement to the end of the season or when the league's decided and all that. But no, we'll come out and do that now. The timing, there's another one for your list. There are two for your list. No, I mean,
it's your list, by the way. It's your list.
It's my list. Right? It's okay. It's my list. Then I'll take ownership of it because all these things are going all around about you, and then we come out and perform like that. Now the performance is the one, the big one. Our performance, our attitude. We come out and done that. It was all wrong, mate. It was just all wrong. We knew exactly what they were going to do. We knew exactly they're a good team. If you give them space and give them time, they will destroy you. And that's exactly what they did in the first half, mate. So we've nobody to blame but ourselves, mate. We're responsible for this. Players are responsible for this. Aye, well, of course, mate, of course. So at the end of the day, they need to learn from it. As Bob just said, it's not over, but it is over if we keep playing like this. Let's not kid ourselves on. Did they put any more performances in like that? Game, set, and match, as far as I can see. I don't know about how you feel. I'm not saying I'm not rolling up any flag, but I'm just being honest about it and saying you can't do this. You can't play like this. Not at this time of the season.
You can't keep getting away having halves of football.
No.
League games when you give away 2 goals in each half of football. And against Falkirk and against Murrable, we've been doing 2-0 twice.
Huh?
Yeah.
But you can have bad half of football and get it nothing each. That can happen. But you can't have bad half of football and get it 2-0. You can have a bad half of football and be winning 2-0 bizarrely. Yeah, aye, exactly.
You can't keep doing it. And then if you look back to the last league game at Ibrox, was it the last league game at Ibrox? I think it was, yeah. No, the day right, it was the last game at Ibrox. But before that, we lost two goal. We lost a 2-goal lead. Yeah. So collectively, well, at times we've made it hard for ourselves, mate. Yeah. Exactly. And everything comes into play, but you've got to everybody's got to do their job, and some of the off-field things, I don't even think it touches players' psyche personally. It touches our psyche, and we get angry about it. Professional football players and angry, don't know if they do, mate. Smurf, then Bob J.
I think ultimately, if you should just be handing your wages back. If you're letting the fact that Tav's leaving at the end of the season affect your performance, and it never affected Asgard's performance. He was just as crap as he always was, you know. So there's certainly no threat in his performance. But ultimately, you know, for me, I can't emphasise enough how important a draw would be. At the moment, we've got to win. Now, we can't win 2 halves of football in one game. We can't do that. We now have to win 4 games in the bounce, and it's still no Moraine Hunt. We could win the next 4 games and still no win the league. So it's not even in our own hands. It's Marvin Andrews' territory now. Keep believing. We need a favour. And it's really sad that we're in this position. You know,
we made it hard. We were in the driving seat. We knew that we fancied it. Yeah, we were hoping that maybe Hibs would help us out yesterday, and you never know. But we shot ourselves in the foot, mate, and we've made it hard for ourselves. Collectively, I'll let AK come in, and then we'll go to Bob. I get all the wee things and all the off-field things, but It doesn't excuse Butland no saving it, man. It doesn't excuse Asgard Miovski's mix-up. It doesn't excuse the fact that we can't get a corner kick in. Does it affect the psyche? They're no mentally tough then at all, are they? AK, then you're right to reply, mate.
No worries. Listen, I know what you're saying, and I agree with most of it, but I just feel that it didn't help us. It didn't help the dressing room. They were all buzzing there. As Bridge says, after the Falkirk win, they were away to Spain to work on things to recharge the batteries, and then you get hit with that. But his Monday interviews, he basically brushed that aside. No, I've no spoke to the club about my contract. I want to concentrate, and then he comes out on his own Instagram. I thought that should have been kept in-house just to let the team concentrate on the game in hand. But Albert, I'll give you another one for your list. I think the players showed up with their shiny shoes and their sparkly shirt on for their night out last night rather than concentrating in the game.
The player of the year.
Aye.
That's what they're the player of the year after, do they know?
Aye.
I mean, there's another one. Put that on the list, another. Player of the year. 4 games to go, we're going to player of the year award. This club, man, I despair of them at times, I really do.
And another one for a list. Instead of taking them to Spain, take them down to Gullen, sort their heads out.
You kill them.
It's just, you can see where we're going with this. No, I mean, it's just, if we win there on Saturday, we don't talk about any of this. When any of this gets spoke about, you're saying, right, we're keeping it going, we're keeping it going. It's just the way we get beat. You're looking at that and going, they were beat. They were slaughtered on that first off. Let's be honest about it. It was there, a run of the mill defeat and bouncing the ball, went against you. They played a wee bit better than us. They didn't play a wee bit better than us. They slaughtered us. Let's be honest about it, no. And that's no acceptable. I just don't care. That wasn't acceptable. Then you actually look in it a wee bit deeper. Why would we be so bad? And as we say, AK said it, it's like a party. That's what I thought. That's what the atmosphere, that's what I felt like. This is like an end of season game. This is like we've already won the league and we're having a party today. That's what it felt like to me. Saying, oh, we're all up for this, we're all up for this. And then it's one of the ones, the game doesn't really matter because we've already won the league and we get beaten at them. Well, doesn't matter really, does it? But you're walking out that game on Sunday, you're going, what happened there? What's that all about? Why is that so bad? You got to, the answers have got to be found, mate, and they have to be found. They should have been found after the Hibs game away. How were we back so bad that night? You're saying what happened there, but we never found the answers, mate. We just never. We asked the questions, but never get the answers there.
I'll give you the answers, mate. We missed 3 players on that pitch: Romans, Moore, and Narderi.
I agree with that.
And look, you can't do anything about injuries in football, and that's a part. And the guys that come in, doesn't matter how you dress them up, if you say it's Sterling or Bagoba, or you say it's Gasman and Asgard, and you take Miovski, and I actually thought Miovski put a wee bit of shift in, showed a bit of effort. He never really get any chances, but we changed how we played, so he gets sacrificed. It was his lack of effort, so I'm not going to go at him, but Narderi's a different type of player who really annoys players and seems to influence the game. Yeah, and obviously we're seeing Miovski looks a better finisher at the moment, but Narderi maybe looks a better player, if that makes sense. But we missed him, and I would say, bizarre as it seems, we particularly missed the left back, Bobjer, and then Bridgman.
I was missing the left back big time. He's an excellent player of the ball. You don't know, he might have got swallowed up all yesterday as well.
He
could have been. Aye. I don't know, but not. Well, put on a dreadful, terrible, horrible performance at the wrong time, and that's it. It's as simple as that. We can analyse it all we want. It was just terrible yesterday. Maybe a bit of complacency crept in. But I wouldn't like to think that Rangers were complacent in any game. That's total unprofessionalism doing that. I doubt that. Team Motherwell were due. They played excellently in the first half and virtually put the game to bed. But we had to rise above that. We did it at Falkirk the previous week. That boiled down to what we're saying again. We can't keep playing for 1.5. Well, we did it at various times this season. We did it at Parkhead earlier on this season. Played for 1.5. We're going to be a 90-minute team. I still like we're no training enough or fit enough or anything like that. We've just got to plod on. This is the vital stage yet now. We can't afford any more slip-ups. You never could afford a slip-up. We've had one. But we've still got a bit of time to overcome it. But now is the time you just cannot afford to drop anything else. Because what's through the booty isn't great. And hey, Hearts will shout their mouth off. I see Lord and Shankland started it already. They're going to kill off Rangers' Championship hopes next Monday. Well, we'll see, Lawrence, because we've been to that place that many times and won, and they're no great side. I think we can go there next week if we can win. A day. This is maybe a wake-up call that we need. So come on, Gers, let's get our act together. We've got the players to do it. Is there any news on Sterling's injury, by the way?
No, we've not heard anything yet.
We can't keep going like that with a player like this.
Oh, Fox says he's any morphine. He's in the mood for killing himself. I didn't think he was going to go any other way tonight, AK.
No, if you were looking for comedy tonight, it certainly wasn't a night to tune in. Nah, listen, you can hear the disappointment in all your voices. Anybody that was there or obviously watching the telly, whatever. Rangers supporters are hurting all around about the world because it's the hope that kills us in the end, innit? And the team puts us back in a position there to challenge to go top of the league. I think we had a chance to go top of the league when we went to Fir Park earlier in the season, and we couldn't beat 10 men. We had umpteen chances to go that, and we've recovered that a few times, but you can't do that all the time, Oaks. I think we're just being honest about it. We need to start better. We're not showing the right attitude and application for what's ahead of us. These players, I think, still don't realise what it means to pull on that jersey and have that
ultimately
have that support backing them,
Ultimately, this late stage of the season, mate, it's our defence and our goalkeeper. It's not performed.
Mm-hmm.
We've scored enough goals, mate. Yeah, 2 at home in the last, 2 of the last 3 home games, mate. Should have got us over the line. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're sitting with 4 more points, and our defence collectively, including the goalkeeper and arguably the middle midfield. And think about the bad goal we lost against the D United as well. If you look at the team goal, yeah, AK, yeah.
Oh, aye. Some of the goals that we've lost have been awful. I mean, the goals that we lost at Falkirk, the goals that we lost yesterday, the goals we've lost against Celtic, against Livingston. It's been amateur stuff, really, and the lack of communication, the lack of intensity, the lack of organisation, the lack of leadership in our team, the lack of winners in our team. We lack all of that, we know that, but until we get ourselves over the line again, then we don't have a foundation to build for success for future years. We all thought we put ourselves in a position again to put some pressure on the Hearts. Even a draw wouldn't have been a bad result because you'd have been still right in it, but now we're relying on favours, and now it's basically 4 wins and hope the others drop points. We've just won 4 there, so we need to win another 4, but 3 away games, 1 at home. Doesn't look good now, I'm afraid.
Ox, can I ask you a question?
Yes, mate.
You don't mind? Well, 2. First question, going forward into next season, what players are sacrosanct and shouldn't be allowed to leave the club? And number 2 is our chairman made his fortune, thought he'd probably settle into retirement, buy sell a fitness team, the wee project, or whatever. How do you think he's feeling after his maiden season?
Well, I think like the rest of us, mate, at 3 o'clock yesterday was fine. At 5 o'clock he wasn't so happy. Yeah, because, and obviously he'll be looking at it different for us. We'll want to win the league. Obviously, if we can, mate, we're going to make sure we're second. So it's all to play for because of financial reasons. As simple as that. You know, that's your second question. What was your first question, Smurf? Or who's sacking?
It would be sacrosanct.
Nobody,
Who would you?
Nobody. Because I'll tell you this straight, mate. If the financial offer's right for anybody, mate, you've got to be serious about what you do, mate. And what I'm saying is, anybody, if it's a crazy offer comes in for somebody, you've got to take it and move on, because that's modern football. It's no us. It's just the way the games went, mate. The days have gone, mate. If somebody comes in with a crazy offer, nobody stays. Albert.
Unfortunately, it's true. But if you listen to Cavernier's statement when he came in at first, we're trying to get sustainable success. The only way you're going to get sustainable success is building a core of a team, and you can bring players in and take players out, but you can't sell 4 or 5 of your mainstay players and expect to get sustained success, mate. It's not going to happen. That's the modern game, but if the price is right. For example, for Fernandes, if they come in and offer you 20-25 million £, he's gone. That's a certain, mate. Same as the
£25 million player yesterday.
I thought the two centre halves were fine. I don't think the two centre halves were to blame for any of it. I think they were left exposed the whole game, and they tidied up a lot of stuff yesterday. A lot of stuff. The trouble with the two of them, they try to be a wee bit too fancy, but they get away with it. They never get caught. They go away with it.
Did you get the first half gave us a heart attack?
Aye, but he didn't get caught, mate. He needs to learn that. There's times you have to do it out of necessity, but there's other times you're just doing it to show off. Fernandes is like that. No, I mean, he's just showing you the calibre of player he's playing against and saying, oh, I'm better than him. At the end of the day, back to Romans, if a 10 million, 15 million pound offer comes in for him, he's gone as well. Chukwani as well. There's another one. Big Chermiti up front. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but if a 15, 20 million pound offer comes in him, he's gone as well. So you can't keep selling your thing with your best players and have a sustained success. Now remember the sustained success he's talking about.
Romans and Chermiti, I would say that would be maybe enough money now to get them, mate. What I'm saying is,
I'm just putting a figure on them, mate. I'm not saying that is the figure, but there will be a price that they will let them go for. That's the point that you're making. There is a price for everybody.
Everybody.
Aye. Right. But at the end of the day, us as supporters, we're the ones that are paying our money to sit there and watch this football. And I'll be honest with you, I can't take much more of this because it's tragic to watch at times. And you're saying, well, what's so hard about trying to win this league? Why are you making it so difficult? But we seem to do, year in, year out, make it really difficult, if not impossible at times. By silly mistakes we make ourselves as a club. So, I don't know, mate. But it's the way the modern game is, mate. It's the Premiership. If the Premiership come calling, they can get anybody they want. Even the Championship, they can get anybody they want, mate. In Scotland, anybody. So they're all up for sale. Not just our team, every team.
Yep. Yeah, that's just modern football. AK?
I pretty much agree with what Albert said there and yourself. I mean, we're in a market where it's cash isn't exactly flowing in from outside with TV. Generating and lack of sponsorship and lack of direction for above as well. So we're forced to cash in players if and when the bids come. That's if they come. I mean, we got a team to a European final and we didn't exactly have a lot of bids coming for our players then. So we've had a team now that's not had any success the last couple of years. So if we do get some sort of revenue for Fernandes or Chermiti or whatever, then I think we've got to take it and then we've got to reinvest. But our recruitment's got to be better now, Ox. I think that's obvious. We've been saying it for long enough. It's no good enough, the recruitment. I think we've been snobbish by ignoring the Scottish market for far too long. The cheaper option isn't always the, we can't afford to turn our nose up at some of these. I know Bridgeman will not like me saying that, but I think the lack of Scots and the lack of players that know our league and play in our league and know what to expect in games like yesterday and then going to Livingston and going to Dens and Tannadice, you need the guys in your team. You need a foundation of them So if we've got young boys in the academy that we can promote, then brilliant. But I think we've got to kind of go accordingly to try and get domestic success before we can make any sort of impact in Europe again. And I think we've been arse for elbow for a lot of years. They've looked at Europe first rather than look at domestic success, and we've suffered as a club and fans because of that.
Yeah, it's a hard one. It doesn't look as if, there's a few managers looked at all the people below the first team, and there's nobody pushing. The only name that's on people's lips is Finlay Curtis, mate, and he's on loan at Kilmarnock. And with other boys that are 15, 16, but you might have 4. Yeah, you're lucky if you get 1 out of 4. Yeah, getting into the first team, that's the reality, mate. And
I think nationality's got nothing to do with it, mate. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got everything to do with ability. I don't care about Scottish boys and all that. I just don't see it. Name a Scottish boy playing in the Scottish League that knew that you'd say, get him, he's going to make a big difference to Rangers. Nobody, mate. There is absolutely nobody. You've got a couple of wee guys that play at Motherwell and a couple of guys that play in some other teams that you think are going to be good players for Rangers. But to stick a blue jersey, it's a completely different animal you're talking about now. You've seen it that many times. We've brought boys in for other teams and brought them into Ibrox and have played well against the Rangers and all that. And then put that jersey on a completely different player. It doesn't work, mate. It's all down to ability. It's all down to if they're good enough and they get right, and cojones and character and all the rest of it. So I don't care what nationality anybody is, as long as they can play well and know what they're doing and improve their team. I'll take any nationality. I don't care who it is.
What about the boy Watt? Would you take him? Be interested in him for Motherwell?
Listen, you
He
watched
looks the part.
He
He
looks the part, wasn't he?
He looks the part. Is he going to do it in a Rangers jersey? Who knows? But if I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick him myself.
It's a good
Other wee
player.
boy I know, the wee boy is at Just or something. He's a good player I know. Good, clever wee player.
That's the 2 I would take. There you go. Don't pay them anything, but take the 2.
If only life was that simple, Bridger.
Of course, pal, of course.
I don't know the contract situation. Anyway, last word for your good self, Bob Ger.
It's interesting to hear what you're all saying there. Really good discussion tonight. It's a shame about what we're discussing about. What would hurt me most of all, this is the worst Celtic team I've seen in years. And to lose a league to that lot that have been in chaos all season would be a right slap in the face to us. So let's get it together, win these 4 games and see where it takes us. Good night, lads, and thanks for having me on once again.
You hear, Smurf?
If only we had John Gregg as our captain, Right, listen, good night, and thanks for taking my call.
AK.
Thanks again, Ox. No the best or positive show tonight, but we're hurting. We need to brush ourselves down and we need to just go again. That's what we do. That's what we're famed for. So 4 games left, nothing less than victories. But may I remind the people there that's calling for Danny Rowe. He's still won the most amount of points for he's been in the building. It wasn't him that's lost this league. The league was lost at the start of the season under Russell Martin. If we don't win it.
Yeah. Listen, we need to get behind. It's not the time. For me, it's not the time to ask any questions. It's we've lost a game of football. I think we've not lost in 18 games, mate. The form's pretty decent. It's when we've lost a game, it's hurting us on and on. I get it. I wasn't in the best place last night, but there we go. Albert.
It's you're raging more about how we lost the way we lost the game than anything else. The way the team played it. We played out our skin and they just beat us. You go, well, fair enough. Don't like it, but fair enough. But we didn't. We got slaughtered in the first half. Absolutely slaughtered. A wee bit better in the second half. And then fell for the sucker punch. So you're sitting saying that's what you're angry about, mate. That's more than anything else. But anyway, good to be on with yourself, AK, Bridgeman, Smurf, and Bob Ger. I was telling you, I would like to say a light I was enjoying tonight, but wasn't it? I don't like criticising, but you can't hide.
No.
You can't hide truth. You can't hide truths, mate. It's there.
Listen, I think we're quite honest, Albert. I mean, we're not trying be too tough on them. We're trying to critique what we watched yesterday and be fair, yeah.
Aye, definitely.
Aye.
Play better and we don't criticise, you put it that way.
Yeah, all right, I get it, mate. I get it. Cheers, mate. Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say, Oxchair? I really enjoyed it tonight. Really enjoyed it, and some of the comments were really good. I thought quite clever. You know, I just hurt. That hurt me yesterday. That absolutely hurt me. I was torn apart, and I was really at the end of my tether with him. You know, I go back and say they did this and they did that, or they didn't do this and they didn't do that. And we're talking about, well, we're outclassed. That's how I'm going to put it. That's my last saying on that. We were outclassed in the first half by a Motherwell team. And I don't remember us ever being outclassed by a Motherwell team, ever, in my history. I'm nearly 80-year-old. I don't remember anybody in Motherwell ever being outclassing Rangers. Sorry, but that's what happened to us, football-wise, outclassed. Anyway, can I just say, well, a big shout out to the techie boys in the background, and of course AK and Albert for carrying me through this. I'm in tenterhooks tonight, really stretched. Okay, can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening and all over the world, dreadful performances by the Rangers yesterday. But we'll get up, pick ourselves up, and let's go for it and do it again. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us.
Yeah, thanks to Albert, AK, and Bridgeman for doing the show. Thanks to Bob Jer and Smurf for joining us, and of course Fox and Old School on the back doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, and I still don't know if we'll be over the hangover then. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. Take it away, Old School Blue.